Back at it. Playing the Colts week 2. Hopefully we can get this W. So for those of you that don't know, this is a second attempt to win a Super Bowl with the New York Jets. First attempt didn't go too well. Pulled a jet, and now I'm trying again. So there's my quarterback. There's my season goals and milestones that I need to accomplish, and my goals for this week. So hopefully I can have a good game, not turn the ball over, do things that actually are the opposite of what Jet quarterbacks do. That's why I'm playing Madden, to fulfill fantasies of the Jets being a Super Bowl contending team. Anyway, the Super Bowl was this past Sunday, and a lot of mixed reviews over this Super Bowl. A lot of people say it was a really good Super Bowl. Others have been saying it was one of the worst games they've ever seen, because it was very low. And to that I say, have you been watching the Denver Broncos this year? As the Colts do nothing with their possession. But yeah, like, if you haven't been watching any football besides your favorite team, I like to watch football. I like to watch all the teams. I love football. It's one of my favorite sports. I've never played. I've always wanted to play, but I've never had the body type to play. The only sport I've ever played was basketball and lacrosse. Basketball in middle school, lacrosse high school. And basically, if you've been watching any of the Denver Broncos games, you would know that Peyton Manning was basically an interception machine in the regular season. And on the game against Pittsburgh, the defense won them the game. The game against New England Patriots in the AFC Championship, defense won them the game. So it was very interesting to see everyone say, "Oh man, like Super Bowl sucked, low scoring." Oh, what are you expecting? A score like 41-38? Because if you were, then you probably lost a lot of money betting, didn't you? And for those of you saying, "Oh, Cam Newton laid an egg," he was like, what was one thing I heard? I heard that he's not a good quarterback. Like he fell in the biggest moment of the game, which is true. He didn't play well. But the way I see it, did Tom Brady get like 3 touchdowns in his first Super Bowl? No, they relied on Adam Vinatieri to win them the game, and thankfully Vinatieri won them the game. All Brady did was put him in field goal possession. And sure, you can say that Brady played well that game, but from what I remember, that New England defense really stepped up and bailed Brady out on a lot of occasions, and really got a lot of stops in, especially who they play first against the Rams. I believe that it was his first Super Bowl win, and there was that was a great defense. As I get a freaking holding call, damn it! No, but Brady had a good defense, and his defense actually it was basically like, oh, Curly, aww. Anyway, everyone just wants, and you know what, like, I do understand being nervous, and excuse my dogs barking in the background. I think some fam came over. Oh, Cumberland, come on, Cumberland. Oh, no, that's going to be short, isn't it? That's going to be short. Oh, man. Anyway. Yeah, so I do know, and I think people got to remember, those wide receivers on the Panthers really stepped up. because they were a bunch of nobodies. Like Ted Ginn Jr., he was on a 1-year deal with Arizona, and he basically did that to have a great like 1-year season, and then get the huge salary in his next contract in free agency, and he did that with Carolina. And they had Kelvin Benjamin go out with a big injury, and he was out for the entire season. And the third best receiver was Devin Funchess, who was a rookie. So there was a lot of factors that people aren't coming in. Oh, every great quarterback is supposed to make their team better. I mean, yeah, but not everyone's a Tom Brady. Not everyone's a Peyton Manning. Hell, not everyone's a Drew Brees. But, you know, it's, I mean, I can tell that if Kelvin Benjamin wasn't injured, I don't know if the game would have been any different. If I want to say they're a receiver away. I really do want to say they're a receiver away, but I just don't know. And where would they get the receiver? Who would be that receiver? Would they get him in the draft? Is Devin Funchess that guy? Oh man, Jason Mara. You don't know. Devin Funchess could be the second receiver they're looking for. But, you know, there's only one way you can find out, but I'd say try to look in free agency. Gotta get who's, you know, there's all these like, oh, just do this, this, and this, and we'd like to think, oh, Curly with a huge reception. You know, as football fans, we all want to, we all feel like we do a better job than the general manager or the executives or owners that are in the NFL today. And to an extent, that could be true. But in reality, we're just ordinary citizens, and our anger when our favorite team doesn't do well gets in the way. So yeah, I know for me, I really wanted Bryce Petty to at least get a few games when the Jets got a losing streak, but somehow, some way, Fitzpatrick pulled through. Still didn't make it to the playoffs, but that's besides the point. That's another conversation for another day. As for Peyton Manning, he didn't do much either. There were a number of instances where Carolina had an opportunity. Oh, damn! Bum rush. Langford. Yeah, there were a number of instances where it was down. The Panthers were down 16-10, and the Denver offense just wasn't doing anything. It was the same old Denver offense from the entire season that we were used to seeing, and it was basically almost, from what I've been hearing on the radio, it was a gift wrap. It was a belated Christmas gift for Cam Newton. And oh, touchdown! But yeah, it was basically, oh, here's the ball. You're down 16-10. Try to score on our defense. And that people forget that the Denver defense was the #1 defense in the NFL. I think they were top 3 against the pass, which is incredible when you really think about it. Especially when they played teams like Kansas City, who won like 10 in a row to make the... Oh, come on, man. What was I saying? Something about... Oh, yeah. Yeah, when they play teams like Kansas City, New England. You know, Denver's... You also got to consider the fact that Brock Osweiler played well too. That kept him in it. But that Denver defense is legit. They have Aqib Talib. Oh, come on, get the first down, man. They get it. Within inches. What do you say, y'all? Do I go for it? Do I go for it? No, I need to rack up my stats.
If it's thrown short of the first down marker, they're good. They come up, make the tackle. Now we have fourth down.
Are they going to be ready for it? Might be ready for it.
Just 2 minutes to go, and a fourth down coming up in this one. And he'll take the snap and
I got it.
The Colts defense has to be demoralized by that fourth down conversion allowed. I think any time on the defensive side when you give up a fourth down conversion, it is heartbreaking, and it has to be heartbreaking.
No, that entire defense is DeMarcus Ware, Von Miller. Like, that defense has some really good players. And people were just, I think people were just astounded by what Carolina was able to do to Arizona and Seattle, most specifically Seattle. And I think that's going to be holding against offense. But yeah, because especially Seattle, because Seattle was supposed to be, they made the playoffs, they're going to be the most dangerous team. No one's going to want to see them in the playoffs because then it's going to be ground and pound like Seattle football. But that Seattle team isn't the same team that blew out the Broncos in the Super Bowl. And I'm not saying, like they only have Richard Sherman, which can be, there's a case to be made, especially after looking at this season. But, damn.
Yes, it's a catch.
Is it a catch? Because I think I just saw him see Madden. Come on, Madden. Don't play with my emotions like that, Madden. Clearly, it was an obvious drop. Don't play with my emotions. Oh, Marshall, first down, and more. Oh, he's gone. Yeah, and Seattle isn't the same team anymore. Like look at Marshawn Lynch. He retired. He's retired now. He announced his retirement after the Super Bowl. And they didn't have Marshawn Lynch for most of the year too. So the case can be made that and remember, they also traded for Jimmy Graham, and everyone was hyping that trade up. Like, they have Jimmy Graham, their offense is going to be unstoppable. But really, the Seattle Seahawks are a ground and pound football team. They're not supposed to be passing the ball a lot. What they really need is a tight end that can run block, and Jimmy Graham isn't that kind of tight end.
Picks up 8 here. Jets offensive coordinator does a good job that time.
So when you look at that and put that into perspective, I forget what the score was, but I think they won pretty handedly. The Carolina Panthers did. But that defense lost Byron Maxwell. They lost who was their other corner who went to
2nd and 2 coming up.
Maxwell went to Philly, and they lost one other guy.
The Colts defense now loading up, expecting pass with a
that defense was. That defense also lost a few players in free agency because of the runs. Because the runs that Seattle made in the playoffs, a lot of players were demanding a lot of dinero.
First and goal from the 3. Looking across
and touchdown, Marshall.
Touchdown.
Yeah, so they lost a few players on defense. And you know what? If things went differently, then I don't know. And also for Arizona also barely beat Green Bay. Green Bay came back from the luckiest Hail Mary pass to take it to overtime, only for Arizona to just march up the field and get a touchdown for the win. Oh man, that was a bad pass. Yeah, and remember, Green Bay too. I forgot about Green Bay. Green Bay lost Jordy Nelson. And Jordy Nelson is basically the best receiver on Green Bay. Everybody knows this. Oh damn, that's not a good look. not good.
Yeah, I think the word luck is appropriate here, no doubt about it.
Yeah, so Arizona was struggling too. They weren't saying going to the playoffs. Everyone assumed that Carson Palmer would be amazing in the playoffs, but remember, even when he was in Cincinnati with Chad Ochocinco and Terrell Owens, they were, well, not Terrell Owens, but Chad Ochocinco, he didn't do too well in the playoffs either. He got beat by a Mark Sanchez Jets team that pretty much had no-name wide receivers and an okay and a pretty decent defense. Yeah, you can say that that defense was one of the best the Jets had with Revis, but they basically,
first down at the 31.
the point is that Carson Palmer isn't, he wasn't ready for a Super Bowl run, even with all his years under his belt.
Good job by the offense.
He wasn't prepared to go, he wasn't mentally prepared for a Super Bowl run, as everyone in ESPN and the rest of the media were reporting that, oh, they were, well, the analysts were saying they were picking Arizona to be Super Bowl champs, or make it to the Super Bowl. And I mean, I personally didn't see it. You know, you have Larry Fitzgerald and all these guys, but what good are those guys if, oh, gotta run. Oh, no. Damn it. Now they're back in it. Anyway, what was I saying? Yeah, Larry Fitzgerald, he's not going to retire anytime soon. So you had time. Oh, yeah, lucky there.
The coaches took him to the sideline and just gave him heck, that's for sure. That's a good way of seeing it. So motivation, can't make those kind of mistakes.
So Arizona wasn't really set, and they also, remember, they also lost Tyrann Mathieu. So it wasn't like this team was, you know, 100% healthy. They had everyone they needed. Tyrann Mathieu was a big loss for the Cardinals. So that's something people have to keep in mind as well.
When you run the football like this and you show toughness, there is no doubt when you fake
anyway,
and try to throw the football down the field,
and then everyone's talking about everyone who's a sports journalist or claims to know sports.
The Jets really got it going now. They got confidence, they got momentum, they got a
Cam Newton post game.
And that first down, what does it do?
So everyone's upset at Cam Newton for walking out on the post game barely 3 minutes of his interview.
They're going to the hurry up
Everyone's
offense at the back of the line quickly. The Jets will take the snap from the 45. Out of the pocket. An open lane.
See you later.
Steps out of bounds.
Yeah. So Cam Newton went out to the podium to answer questions, as everyone should, after the Super Bowl. And what happened was that apparently the setup that the NFL gave for the Super Bowl in San Francisco was that the Super Bowl winner and losers had to stay in the same room, or where the media could be able to ask questions to both players or coaches. Now, while that may be convenient for most, it may have been the biggest reason why Cam Newton walked out, because shortly after they won the Super Bowl, the Broncos won the Super Bowl, sorry, I'm trying to focus on the fourth down. But, sorry, I'm trying to lose, Yeah, so Cam Newton was able to overhear all these Denver defenders, all the Denver defenders like Von Miller, Kituli, basically saying, "Yo, we shut him down. We wanted him to cry like a baby. We wanted him to cry and whine all game." And basically, that's not what you want to hear. You don't want to hear people bashing you right after you lost the biggest game of your life. You know, and I understand, you know, media wants to know, oh, why did you fall on the ball when there was a fumble? Like, what's going on, Cam? What's going on? And media wanted to hear it, and media is technically our voice when it comes to, you know, like questions like why Cam didn't fall on the fumble in the Super Bowl when they were down 16-10. Yeah. So understandably, he left. He just walked out and he's like, you know what, I don't want to hear any of this. He didn't say anything, but he just walked out and didn't say anything in the media. And a lot of people have been calling him out for that in the profession. Which, I don't know.
Just 25 yards to pay dirt. Ivory, a lone setback this time. And here's the toss.
My thing is, he's, you can't force him to do that kind of stuff when he's, after the biggest game of his career. That was just, well, no, you can't, I take that back. My point of view is that the NFL set up the media for the Super Bowl post-game in the worst way possible. No matter who won or who lost, because someone was going to end up getting hurt. The person that got hurt was Cam Newton. And you know what? As unprofessional as it may seem, he's been like this his entire career, especially in Auburn. If you watched him in college football, it's been like that his entire life. So, what can you do? And everyone's saying, oh, his maturity level, blah, blah, blah. Like, what if he never makes it? Like, come on, no. But he's not thinking about, probably now he's probably thinking about that. Like, oh, I don't know if I'm ever going to make it to a Super Bowl. This may have been my only chance, but he's not thinking about, like, oh, maybe I should have handled it better. He's thinking, the NFL really screwed me over when they were with the whole setup. Because truthfully, why would you set it up where the loser has to hear the winners talk badly about it? Oh, we wanted to pressure him, blah blah blah. We want to do this, and that to him. So that's my opinion. I think the NFL messed up really bad in the way they set up the post-game interviews. And well, it's a lesson learned for both sides, like I suppose, for both the NFL and Cam Newton. And of course, Ron Rivera went to Cam Newton's defense, saying, "I'd rather have a guy who hates losing than a guy who accepts it," which is understandable. You know, no one's gonna accept, yeah, we lost, blah blah blah, whatever. And the media is just killing him for no reason. I feel just because it's not what they believe is what quarterbacks should do, and that's more on Peyton Manning and Tom Brady because they pretty much set the precedent for that. And I don't know if it's fair. It's up for debate.
And all the crew at EA Sports. Jim Nance saying so long for now.
That's all the time I have today. I hope you enjoyed this Madden matchup between the Jets and the Colts. Showing you the stats right now. 22 of 30, 237, 4 touchdowns, no picks. Although I did have that fumble, that sack fumble. Let me just go to the... Yeah, Frank Gore had... yeah, okay. So I had 6 carries, 41 yards, so we basically had over 100 yards rushing. Receiving wise, Eric Decker, Brandon Marshall, which is how it should be. So yeah. Alright, well, see you later.